If you're like me and you've been playing Roblox for a while, then you probably have a somewhat nihilist outlook on this platform. And believe me, it's not just nostalgia. The removal of the genre search system, eradication of the forums, lack of legacy versions to keep older games functional after engine updates, an overall trend towards becoming a mobile game has caused the front page to mostly be filled with boring, uncreative, money-making schemes that are thinly disguised as games. As a result of this, I and many other Roblo boomers have resigned ourselves to a handful of games and have completely lost faith in this platform. However, in the past few months, I've started live streaming for a small audience, and in the pursuit of keeping things interesting, I've discovered many unpopular games which deserve far larger player bases than what they currently have. Some of these games are old games that have fallen out of popularity but were recently remastered, others are newer but haven't gotten enough attention yet. Anyways, I hope this video added some new games to your go-to list, or at least gave you the inspiration to keep searching. If you're new to this channel, I go by Denian Writer, as you can see, and I make Phantom Forces montages currently. That might not be what I do in the future, but we'll see. Yeah, if this video does well, then I'll probably make something similar and make another one of these, I'm not sure. There are more games that could have gone on this list, but I wanted to keep it at 5 since I couldn't quite put it at 10. At least right now. Number 1. Tactical Assault. I have history with this game, as well as all the other games that YouTube's has created, which is the guy who made this game. I even made a map for the original version of Tactical Assault, and I played his other games as well. He had a Vietnam War game, he had a World War II build and fight game, he had this group game where you had to invade a Canadian military base or something, and there were some other ones. There was like a DayZ style game, I think. Anyways, he's back, and he's developing his games again, and I'm really excited to see what happens. You know, I'd love to, play the Vietnam War game or the World War II build and fight game once those are complete, but as of right now, we have the Sky Marshal game, which he made, as well as Tactical Assault. In Tactical Assault, you either defend or attack depending on which team you pick. The defenders get Eastern Bloc-style weapons and uniforms, the attackers get NATO-style weapons and uniforms. It's a game that's pretty easy to understand and very fun to play. You can level up your primary weapon by getting kills with it and put different attachments or other things on it in order to make it more effective in combat. For your secondary slot, you can pick from a medkit, ammo bag, breaching charge, flashbang, or sandbags. Although the medkit and ammo bag aren't locked to a specific team, the breaching charge and flashbang are only for attackers and the sandbags are only for defenders. In their current state, the medkit and the ammo bag aren't particularly useful, but I'll get back to that later. The sandbag is very great because it allows you to block off areas and block off doors and just set up uncomfortable situations for the attackers to go through. At least most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't really work at all because, there's a lot of different angles that they can breach from. You can't really always anticipate where they're going to come from unless it's a really locked down area. I could see the sandbags being really, really powerful if you have multiple people cooperating with each other to build something nearly impenetrable. But I say nearly because the attackers get a breaching charge. Now, the breaching charge's primary purpose in the original game was to just break through certain areas of walls, but in the current game, they can also break down sandbags. If someone makes a barrier somewhere, they block off a door or something, you put a breaching charge on it and it breaks it down. So it balances it out, basically. Back to what I was saying before about the ammo bag and the med kit. They're not really useful because the engagements don't last that long, and you're not going to go through so much ammo that you need to refill, otherwise you won't be able to fight anymore. I've never had that even come close to happening, and the med kit takes so long to use that I haven't had a chance to even actually see if it works or not, because I either end up dying or the round ends. This game is being updated weekly, and at the time of editing this video, it averages anywhere between 50 to 90 players depending on which time of day. I'd like to see that number go way up in the future. Number 2. Defend the Train. As the name of the game suggests, the primary goal is to defend the train. Defend the Train is a class-based wave survival game where you use the points you get from killing NPCs to either upgrade your weapons or the train itself. If a train car gets damaged enough, it'll explode, killing any players on board or behind said train car. There are 3 classes to pick from: Psycho, close range, high damage; Gunslinger, accurate and consistent but medium damage; and Medic. My personal favorite is Gunslinger, since you can switch weapons while reloading to get a constant stream of damage. This game, and all of the other games created by abandoned Top Hat Games, has a lot of care put into it. The maps are creative, there's plenty of art in the train station, and the soundtrack is even original. It's what you're listening to right now. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a lot of good footage because I wasn't able to progress that far. The reason for that is it's really hard to get a full server because the player count is the lowest on this list. Sometimes it averages at 0, depending on the time of day, which is really disappointing because this game is very good and it's high quality in my opinion, and should definitely be more popular. I don't really understand why it's so low in player counts. But I hope to see more from the developers in the future. This game is still being updated consistently. Like all the other things on this list, I'll have it linked in the description, as well as the other games made by Top Hat Games, so feel free to check that out if you are interested. Number 3. State of Anarchy. State of Anarchy is an Escape from Tarkov-inspired open-world PvP survival game. If you're a gun nut, this is the game for you. There are a huge variety of weapons, many of them being ones that you don't see very often in FPS games. The main goal of the game currently is to just acquire weapons and the necessary materials to stay alive. However, you can find unusable items in containers which will eventually be used in a bartering system similar to Tarkov at a later date. There's a stamina bar as well as a thirst and hunger bar. Stamina is refilled by keeping your thirst and hunger bars at higher levels, as well as using certain consumables such as energy drinks and sugar cubes. The stamina bar is also drained by medication, so you will need to keep it high in order to heal. But the main appeal the game has, for me at least, is the sheer variety of weapons and attachments. AR-15s, AKs, weird Russian prototypes, civilian .22 rifles, hunting rifles, anti-materiel rifles, PDWs, pistol caliber carbines, a Makarov with an 84-round drum magazine, a homemade pipe shotgun, a bolt-action rifle with a 50-round drum, World War II weapons, strange caliber civilian weapons, a whole bunch of other stuff that I just can't remember off the top of my head. Quick side note, you can also force your character to eat a whole jar of mayonnaise in one sitting. Anyways, you can hold 2 primary weapons and 1 secondary weapon. Personally, I like to standardize my calibers between my weapons as best as I can in order to obtain the maximum amount of efficiency while looting. There are also secondaries, which are actually cut down rifles, which can make this process even easier. From my experience, any weapon firing a bullet with 4000 energy or above will kill in one shot. So I recommend picking up a 5.56 assault rifle, a 5.56 secondary, or another intermediate caliber, as well as a primary that fires a bullet with at least 4000 joules of energy. That way you have an assault rifle and a secondary with the same ammo type, as well as a primary which can snipe enemies from long distances in one shot. There are 3 maps: Canada, St. Petersburg Metro, and Odessa. Canada is the one you see in the video. Moscow Metro is, hell. Can't put it any other way. It's fun, but you're going to die every 5 minutes. And Odessa is probably the best map in my opinion, but don't let my opinion influence yours until you try the game for yourself. Links in the description. So when I originally conceptualized this video, State of Anarchy was a little bit less popular, but now it's gotten somewhat of a player boost in the past few days. So at the time of making this video, State of Anarchy averages anywhere between 200 to 500 players at a current point in time. And that's probably the most popular game on this list. The group that makes this game is called Dev Dudes, and they're also working on a Dead Zone remake apparently. As with everything else, links are in the description. Number 4. Beginnings 2. Beginnings 2 is an open-world survival and building game where you collect resources and craft items to gain an advantage over other players, or to just build a civilization with a group of people. This game is heavily inspired by the Survival series by Dividii, except it's a more modern reboot of it with some additional features. You craft tools to acquire resources, you use those resources to acquire better tools, you use those better tools to acquire better resources, you use those better resources to acquire even better tools, basically. There's a wiki, I'll have it linked in the description, and the wiki will help you with a lot of the recipes, and overall it's just very fun. I didn't have gameplay of it, but I made a bomb, and then I destroyed someone's ship, and then I attacked the group. There's just stupid stuff like that. Like, you can invite a group of friends to play the game with you, and you could, you know, raid another group. If another group puts up a base, you can craft bombs, craft armor, and stuff like that. You can craft catapults. It's a little bit grindy, and your progress doesn't save. Well, there's a leveling up system. Your progress for the leveling up system saves, but if you built the structure, unless you were to rejoin that same server later on, it wouldn't be there anymore. Because, you know, it's the game, you can progress relatively quickly, but it is still a little bit grindy, but it's very fun. I recommend that everybody try this game, and I'd like to see the player counts be higher, because they can average anywhere between 10 to maybe 80 players at a certain point in time, and really this game deserves more than that. So try it out for yourself if this seems interesting to you. I'll have a stream where I played this game linked in the description, so you could watch that if you want to see gameplay with a group of people. Yeah. Number 5. Ragdoll Universe. Oh my god. This game is so stupidly underrated. There is so much effort and just goodness and creativity just seeping everywhere. Why does this game only have, like, at the time of recording, okay, it's 7 a.m., right? But this game doesn't even have 100 players on it. Like, it has 38 players. How does that make sense? I mean, maybe it's not for no, it is for everybody. It's like, I don't know. I'm just dumbfounded. Like, this game has, I think, all the ingredients to be a popular game, and it's just not. There's even people making videos about it. Not enough, evidently, but like, I'm really confused. It's a fun game, it's casual, it's silly. There's an original soundtrack, which I think is bangin', okay. It has a clear-cut style to it, it's colorful, and I don't know, like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. This game should be so popular, but it's not. In Ragdoll Universe, it's a third-person shooter game. There's custom game modes as well. Basically, you just pick up weapons and you fight each other, and you're stupid little ragdolls and you flail around, and it's funny. But everything is so well done that it just, I don't know. I don't know why it's not popular. It should definitely be popular. You guys should make it popular. If this video gets popular, play this game. That's all I don't need to say anything else. Like, it's fast. You can just jump in and get into the action, and you can understand what I'm coming from. You know, like what I'm trying to explain to you. Play the game. It's good. Play it. Yeah, that's the end of this list. Yeah. I'm out of here. Bye.